So we're going to first look at what is a living trust. Most people are familiar with wills, but less familiar with a living trust. So what is it? Think of it like it's a box that we label a living trust. What's the purpose of the box? The purpose is to hold title to your assets. We literally take the assets of John and Jane Jones that they hold in their own name individually, or they might hold it in joint tenancy or tenants in common, and instead we title it to be in the living trust. We literally take the assets they own and put it into the living trust. We put them into the box. So what you need to know is that there are three positions of a trust. There's the trust makers. Those are the people who own the assets and put them into a living trust. Now, if you've heard of a settlor or a grantor, there's all these different names, but regardless of the name or title that's used, it's the person making the trust. Secondly, we have a trustee. That's the people who manage the assets in a living trust, that they have the right to buy, sell, trade, borrow, etc. And the third role in any trust is that of a beneficiary. It's the one you want to be. It's the person who gets to spend the money and use the assets in the living trust. All you need to remember is that the trust maker creates the trust, the trustees manage the trust, and the beneficiaries get to use the assets and income of the trust. So what makes it a living trust? Well, in John and Jane Jones's case, if they create a living trust, that means they're the trust makers. Well, who do they want to manage their money while they're living? Themselves. That makes themselves the trustees. And who do they want to spend their own money while they're alive and healthy? Themselves. So they're the beneficiaries. So what makes it a living trust is that they hold all three positions. So the trust makers, trustees, and beneficiaries. That's it. That's what makes it a living trust. The specific terms of a living trust are important and are customized for each person. So how does this look for planning purposes?